Hi guys, this is the first step of the control application course. Today we're going to play 1 bar leg motion, then 1 bar heel down technique, and then we're going to increase the heel down technique bars until 4. In this way we are going to work on switching the motion from leg to ankle motion, which is a very important step. It's a very important thing to know exactly how to switch from one part of our body to the other, because many times we go from a slow tempo to a faster tempo, and we don't stay exactly synchronized with the pedal, and we have hard times doing the switching, the shifting, and this causes some problems in our playing sometimes. So it's very important to do this step where we will switch from leg motion to, this time it's going to be down, heel down technique, because it's the first step of this course, but then we're going to see the heel up, heel toe, accenting, swivel, slide, all the various techniques. We will start with the springs of the pedal off, and then we're going to switch to put them on. This is because we really have to understand, without the spring, how is the shifting working, how our body should react to the pedal in order not to lose the synchronization. And then we will apply it more, putting the spring back up and dealing with the rebound, with the response of the spring. So the first thing is to understand how to work on the leg motion, and then switching to the heel down techniques. So the motions that we're going to work is, of course, the first stroke of the leg motion is just going to be raising our leg and let it drop, controlling the rebound of the pedal, and then we switch to heel down technique, which basically the first stroke of the heel down is gonna still be a leg motion. So it's gonna be a 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. So you can see that the first stroke that I do, it's a leg motion, so that in this way I never lose the synchronization with the pedal, because I'm not starting from a steady position of the beater, but I keep the swinging of the beater, and I just then control it with the heel down technique. So this is the first step, and it's very important for when we're going to put the spring on. And then to come back, so to go from a heel down back to leg motion, we're going to do the opposite. So we will do from a heel down stroke to a heel up. So we're going to do this thing. So the first stroke is going to be from slow to fast. It's going to be 1. Okay, so very important. It's like basically a heel toe with more strokes in between. That's why I go through all the techniques in the first part of our courses, because that's very important, because sometimes you apply techniques that you don't even know. So it's very important to know all of them, to have a very elastic ankle and a lot of control of your limbs. So again, 1 2 3 4 3 4, leg 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 ankle. And of course, as usual, as when we play without the spring, remember to always keep your foot on the board, attached to the board. Don't play in 2 times, but try to always be on one thing. Very important always to make sure that when we have the spring, our body is completely synchronized to it, and it's not going to work with different speeds or different timings. If not, it's going to be a contrast between our ankle and the motion of the pedal, which we don't want. We want to avoid that absolutely. That's the whole purpose of playing without the spring. Another very important thing are the distances between the notes. Let's try to play the notes even. And even not to play like different dynamics or different speed. Like to try to play half speed and then double the speed. So it's gonna be and not some like weird BPMs shifting, in order that we get used to working 100 BPMs or 200 BPMs, which is going to be more regular, more similar to how we play most of the times when we play on a click track. Also, let's work on isolating the ankle from the legs. So to work a leg motion, complete leg motion, so that the input starts from this part of our body, to isolate completely the leg and working on an ankle motion, so that this part is not going to be involved at all. It's very important to isolate the ankle from the leg to do this exercise, or to work on an ankle motion in general. Heel down, heel up, whatever it is, swivel. It's very important that the leg is not going to be involved. If not, that's going to create contractions while you speed up, and it's going to stop, and it's going to be like a break for your ankle motion. So pay attention to also to this detail. I know it's a lot of details to pay attention to. You can focus on one detail at a time without doing everything together. So you're gonna go back to this video and go like, okay, step one, let's make sure my foot is attached to the board. Okay, I got it. Let's make sure that I don't have weird timing issues, that I am isolating, blah blah blah. And you keep working on the same thing over and over again to make it perfect. That's why we break down everything. It's to make sure that our body motions are perfect, that the control of the external forces that we have is perfect, and so that when we apply, we don't have any of those issues. When we put the spring back up, things change a little bit, because of course we have to deal with the spring. So we won't be so focused on our body motion, but we will be more focused on controlling the external forces. So we give for granted that our body is prepared to deal with the spring. So also the setting of the spring has to be right for our body preparation. It can't be too fast. If not, it's gonna need too much response, too much reaction. Compare what we can give, what we're prepared to. So of course the leg motion part doesn't change. The weight of the leg always beats the spring. So the force of the spring, there's no need to put all the weight of the body on top, like on the pedal. Our leg is enough. We can keep the weight on the seat. So the concept is going to be, of course, the same. It's going to be a 4 leg motion, and then 4 leg strokes, and then 1 leg strokes that starts the heel down. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So let's keep the same motions that we were doing, the same kind of workout, but let's control the spring motion and let's deal with it. Let's not go against it. Let's not press it down and try to work against the spring, which will work when we are in a leg motion, but will never ever work on the ankle motion. So the ankle has to literally adapt to what the spring wants to do. That's why we can't go under this speed. This is our 0 point when we put the spring on. Because if we go slower than this, we're going to work against the speed of the spring. So we have to literally work against the spring. So this is my point 0 when I put the spring. I can't go slower than this. So that's why I say the setup really matters at this point, because if the 0 point is too fast already for your body, then you have to lose the spring, and you have to work a little bit more in the no spring section and try to speed it up a little bit. So knowing this, let's start working on the shifting. So the leg motion stroke to start the heel down strokes. So it's basically like an upstroke, so raising our leg but still giving a stroke. Instead of just raising the leg, we press a little bit with the toe so that we still are able to give that stroke. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 4. And then back to leg motion. So perfect. Now I will give you a demonstration of the routine so that you guys have an idea of how it is when you practice at home. So with this exercise we're going to learn how to switch straight from leg to ankle motion without have to thinking of dealing with the pedal or anything like that. It's going to be subconscious because we are going to just focus on our leg and ankle in this section. So it will be spontaneous then when we will play. The first step is heel down, and we needed to work on every single motion, every single technique that will help us in different ways every time. This is going to benefit the heel up technique too, it's going to benefit the swivel technique, it's going to benefit everything because we're working on our ankle. It's very important to go through all the techniques. Plus, we're going to be a more complete drummer, which is very important too. You never know what job you're gonna get. So remember to always come back with the like working on reactions, so working on the release. Try to come as back as possible with the heel in the ankle part, so that we really take the bass. We don't kind of press and go like move our feet in front and stuff like that, so that we really stay synchronized to the pedal every time, and we don't work against the spring, we don't press it, we don't have like tensions and stuff like that. Synchronization is very important in this exercise, and to work with the pedal. And make sure you work from a leg motion to ankle motion with the process that we just saw, that the shifting part is very accurate, that the beater doesn't have like weird motions, and the dynamic is always almost the same. Timing change, but the course, the motion that the beater does should be always very similar. Okay, so have a good practice, guys, and I'll see you next week.